Hey guys, this is Rayvis and welcome to a tutorial video about select buffering. So first of all, we all know we have to sometimes frame buffer. For example, if I go to Petals of Darkness for the classic hammer yomp, let's go here and give me a second. Alright, so yeah, let's go here first. And you want to do the hammer jump, so you want to equip obviously bombs, but now what? As you can see right now, going select. As you can see right now, wait, there we go. You can see I'm not on the correct pixel right now, right here. Link is too high. I need to go, I think, 3 pixels down. I don't know. So what you can obviously do to frame buffer in general is using your menu, right? This and stuff. But since I feel like the timing after when you close the menu and be able to move is sometimes hard to predict, or at least you have to really get known to it. So I looked for another way to frame buffer. As you can see, I'm really having trouble. Like, this was a frame perfect thing. This was like a lot of frames. So I have trouble pause buffering this way, why I thought about menu buffering, which is pretty much as soon as I go on, the game immediately runs, so I have no delay and have to time my input to buffer frames. This is way easier in my eyes. So I want to show you how to do it, and what I did is, first of all, if you have the option to change your inputs, if you're like playing on emulator, for example, away from select, I personally would do that because it's making this whole thing easier if you put it somewhere else. So for example, I'm using the Switch Pro controller, but imagine a PlayStation 2 controller or an Xbox controller, even a regular SNES controller. What I would do is, instead of having select on its vanilla position, use it on the L button, because when I have my L button free, I can use my left thumb, to still go into a direction, use A to accept my select, and use my second finger on my left hand just to buffer with the select. Of course, in the game you will a lot of times save and quit, and I can guarantee you in the first like 2-3 seats you want to play, or even runs, you will have problems save and quitting. You will spam your select button, but it's not going to work since you're probably used to having it on the vanilla position. But if you get used to it, then this can be a huge benefit. So what I'm doing right now is pretty easy actually. As you can see on the left, I have a little description how I do it. So let's go here again. We right now have the bow, obviously, but since we are still allowed to mimic clip in GT, and sometimes have pen and Eastern and pod, and technically would have bow go mode. We could skip these mimics. By the way, I want to just say I'm against it having this in GT. I can do it, so I'm talking against my own interest, because I think this is not a good thing for competitive gaming. I don't want to go too deep into it, because I think the same about everything else in GT, like mold on bounce and hovering, but that's just me on my personal. But as long as it's allowed, I'm probably gonna use it. But yeah, so when I wanna mimic clip, I probably will make a tutorial for this of how I do it exactly. But I'm just gonna use this tutorial just to show how to frame buffer. So in general, what I want to do now is I want to go 1 frame to the right and let this guy go into the block, and then want to go down all the time. So basically I have to do 2 frame perfect inputs. What I'm gonna do now, I have select, alright? I'm not holding anything, but if I'm holding select and I'm pressing A, nothing's gonna happen. even if I'm now holding up, there's never gonna be anything happening on the screen, because as long as you hold select, it will never buffer a frame. So keep that in mind. If you're like freaking out somehow at a hammer jump and you feel like a lot of pressure, you can always hold select. Like even if I not hold select right now, I can now hold it and press A, and it's always going to be in this direction. Sorry, in this screen. I'm not moving. I'm holding to the right right now. Link is not moving. I'm not buffering right now. Time is going on, but Link is not gonna move anytime soon. So just keep that in mind. All right. When I wanna buffer one frame, I'm holding to the right now. Nothing is gonna happen. Only if I go down right here, then there's something gonna happen. And this is the save and quit button. So this is not what we want to do. So keep in mind that you're never gonna press A right here. Always keep a cool head. But when you push to the right, to the left, or up, there's no problem at all. So don't worry about that. So when I want to go to the right, I'm gonna hold right now. I'm gonna press A and immediately followed by my select button it again. Since as soon as I press my A button, the game is gonna continue. That's the big difference to the menu buffer. The menu has to go away, and then the input is gonna be used. So there's a little delay, but with the select buffer, there's no delay at all. So let's try. That's perfect. So I've buffered one frame. When I want to go down now, obviously I would push down now. So if that happens to you, don't panic. Go up again, hold your select button, and you can press A as you want. As I told you before. So when I want to go down now, if I press A, immediately followed by down, and I'm still holding select, watch what's gonna happen. Exactly, it's gonna happen nothing. But now I'm holding down. And when you go into the select buffer and you're already holding a direction, the arrow is not gonna go down to save and quit. So when I release select now, I'm still holding down. I'm holding down constantly. When I now try to frame buffer, see, it worked. Obviously I didn't need to frame buffer right there, since the mimic would have gone down even if I'm just holding it down constantly. But that's just how I want to show you how the actual frame buffer works. Like this again. I'm holding to the right. I'm pressing A immediately followed by my L button. So that was too long. All right. So I have to redo the thing right here. Give me a second. Come on. Alright. So I'm holding right. This was too quick. So I pressed A and followed by L, but I pressed too quick. So you only have to get the timing between those two inputs. And once you got that, was too long. Dang. Come on. Don't make me mad. Don't want to specifically show it right here because that's a little tricky. Alright, I buffered one frame. You can see that at the mimic. It's with the shadow. But yeah, I don't want to give a tutorial right now about that stuff. But that's in general how I frame buffer. So like, gonna want to go one frame right. Just one frame. Obviously, when I'm constantly holding right. So now I want to change direction. So I'm gonna hold up now. You can do that with no problem. Now I want to go down. So I'm holding select and pressing A. Now I would go down. All right. So I'm holding select, and as soon as I press A, I'm pushing down. The time window of doing that is pretty big. So I'm kind of like A down, even A down. That's enough. You don't need to A down. You can do that, no problem. But you can also do A down, A down. See, the arrow's never gonna go down because the whole text box has to be on the screen to be able to move your arrow, like A down. It's not too much. So I'm holding down now. I want to go down. I'm releasing my select button, and then I press A select again. See? Come on. was too much. So you see, sometimes I'm walking 2 frames or maybe 3. That's just because I'm bad at it. Okay, I found that technique on my own. I'm still getting used to it, and I'm very, very rusty. I really need to re-practice that. But it's the same with hammer jump and stuff. You always need to do that stuff. So what I'm gonna do at the hammer jump, for example, how I do the hammer jump in general with this kind of oh, what's happening right now? Give me a second. Hammer jump. There we go. Let's make a save file. So first of all, you want to go to your bomb. So, alright. Now I can see, okay, I'm 1 pixel too far up, as you can see, so I need to go down right next for 1 frame. So what I'm gonna do is holding select. Alright, and now I'm holding down right. That was too much. That was perfect. Now I can easily lay down the bomb. So everybody is getting used to this menu right here, that the bottom of the menu, the black bar, and the last part of the blue bomb part here are overlapping. So we can still use that, of course. I'm gonna do that as well. But as soon as I know... Alright, now I know that I can see two black pixels. Everybody knows I need 1 more pixel up, so now I can start frame buffering with my select button. So I'm holding select, holding upright, and I'm done. So that's how I buffer. I can only advise that to you, to remove your select button from the vanilla position, put it on the shoulder button. In the best case, the left part of the button, since you sometimes have to do your other inputs on the right button, right part of the button. And I think that makes more sense to do it like this, because again, this menu buffer, like, you always have to predict when exactly you can pause. And I personally find that I'm not saying a little harder. I think it's personally harder in my eyes. So yeah, there you have an option. Try it out, and if you don't feel comfortable with that, okay, no problem. Then go back to your old setup as you're comfortable with. I just want to give you an option to do something, and here you go. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you like what you see here, I'd be happy if you subscribe on my channel, and also follow me on my Twitch. You can find that in the description. And thanks for watching, and this is Rayvis signing out.